Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the room. I hope that you're all doing well today. Come on in the room. Come on in. It's Thursday. Come on in. Let me know how you're doing. Good morning, Liz. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Double tap as you come in and share the stream out if you are able to do so. Let me do the same, then we'll jump into it. Good morning, everyone. Let's share, double tap. Let's share. Share. Let's get these numbers up. Ooh. Let's get these numbers up. Let's get them up. Let's get them up. All right, that's shared. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. Switch this over. Good morning, Teeks. How are you? Good morning. Okay, that's done. Hey, Chef Foster, how are you? How you doing? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is the 11th already. Yeah. June 11th. Hey, Miss Gloria, good morning. How are you? Good morning, Miss Jennifer. Good morning. Share, share, share. Share. I got some additional books. So, for those of you who want signed copies of the book, remember to send me a message. You're doing well? Awesome. I'm doing good. I have no complaints. I have no complaints at all. As I was saying, those of you who do need signed copies of the book, I did get some additional books in. So message me. I will be shipping out today. I'll be going to the post office. Oh no, that is going to the post office, but I will be going today. I'm going to be shipping out some books today. Okay, all right. Alrighty. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the room. Welcome. I'm Anika V. Brown. Welcome to my virtual space. Hit that follow button. Get connected. Get connected. We're going places and we're doing major things this year. And it's important that you are a part of a community. Good morning. This is our live stream schedule right there. We're live here Mondays through Fridays, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're right here. So set your calendar, set your reminder, mark your calendar, set your reminders, and join us right here Mondays through Fridays, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where we gather here and we command our day. I'm loving where the numbers are going. Yes, absolutely. I love where the numbers are going. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the room. Make sure that you hit the follow button. Don't just show up once. You got to keep coming back, all right? You got to keep coming back. Good morning, Jean-Claude. How are you? All right, let's do this because I want to make room for Q&A today. I want to make room for Q&A today. I know that I have been in a rush the past how many days. I've been in a hurry. I want to make room today for Q&A. So I hope that you brought your questions. If not, I'll just hop off and go finish preparing for Bible study tonight. Okay? All right. But I hope you brought your questions today. I want to make time for that. So I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing well. So let's jump right into it. Let's get our gratitude check-in done. Let's get that done. And we'll move through a little faster so that we can make room for Q&A. So think about your questions right now. Write them down if you need to write them down so you can ask me later once I open up the floor for questions, okay? All right, awesome. Let's do our gratitude check-in. Drop in the comments, what are you grateful for today? We practice gratitude here because it helps to keep us in a mindset of abundance. We're not walking around complaining. No, we're not. We're finding things to be grateful for. Hello, Gilbert. Good morning to you. We're finding things to be grateful for because, as I always say, the thing that you're complaining about, somebody is praying to have just a percentage of what you've got. So you got to be grateful for it, okay? You have to be grateful for it. So drop in the comments. Let me know, what are you grateful for today? Grateful for everything. Love it. Good morning, Sandra. Welcome to the room. Grateful for peace, provision, and protection. Love it, love it, love it. The 3 P's. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So again, we're not complaining. We're not giving our energy to complaints. We're finding things to be grateful for today and every day. Okay? Grateful for my children. Awesome. I love it. Grateful for all. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Grateful for salvation. I love that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Our blood was not sufficient enough. So we thank God. We thank the Father for sending the Son to die for us so we could have access to salvation and to be reconciled back to Him. So that is indeed something to be grateful for today. Grateful for my family and my little accomplishments. Love it. You got to celebrate them. Okay? You have to celebrate them. Doesn't matter how small the win is. You got to celebrate it. Okay? Grateful for the lessons I'm learning while times are hard. Ooh, that takes a mature believer, a mature person to say that. But I love that for you. That is indeed something to be grateful for, because you're going to look back. You're going to get to a point in life where you're going to look back and you're going to say, I'm happy I went through that. I'm happy I experienced that because that prepared me for something greater. I love that. And it really takes a mature individual to say that. So I celebrate you. Good morning, Erin. How are you? How you doing? Thank you so much for the daily heart me. All right, so that is our gratitude check-in. Again, we practice gratitude here because it helps to keep us in a mindset of abundance. Now, our theme for this year is executive living. We're focusing on operating our lives like a Fortune 500 company. Good morning, Harvey. How are you? And with that theme, we have 2 mantras that we're walking through the year with. Mantra number 1, I am an effective executive over my life. I want you to type that in the comments. I am an effective executive over my life. Type that in the comments. I am an effective executive over my life. Yes, indeed. And the second mantra, I only exude executive energy. I am focused. I'm disciplined. I'm organized. I'm focused. I can't let every shiny thing pull me off course. No, I can't. I'm disciplined. I have to get up and do what I got to do. I can't operate from my emotions. No, I know I got to get this thing done. I'm going to get up and get this thing done. I'm organized. I'm not here, there, and everywhere and in everything. No, I'm only doing the things that I got to do to get to where I'm trying to get to. All right. So the 2 mantras that you're going to filter your decisions through. Mantra number 1, I am an effective executive over my life. Mantra number 2, I only exude executive energy. I'm focused, I'm disciplined, I'm organized. Yes, yes, indeed. Organized, focused, absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Bill, good morning. How are you? All right, let's pray. Let's pray really quickly and then we'll move into our affirmations. All right, we're going to pray the 23rd Psalm. I'm going to pray for all of us and you're going to type in the comments, amen. It says that you agree with the prayer. So here we go. The Lord is our shepherd, we shall not want. He makes us to lie down in green pastures. He leads us beside still waters. He restores our souls. He leads us in a path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil. For thou art with us, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort us. Thou preparest a table before us in the presence of our enemies. Thou anointest our heads with oil, our cups run over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen Amen and amen. Yes, surely, without a doubt, goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives. Yes, indeed. Thank y'all so much for typing amen. All right, let's get into the affirmations. Let's do that. Let's walk through the affirmations. You can find them in the front of my new book. So the affirmations are right here. You can find them in the front of Leadership Cheat Code. Again, for those of you who want a signed copy, send me a message. I'm mailing out today. Send me a message so that you can get your copy. All right. Hey, Marlon. Good morning. All right. So the affirmations are right here. So what I'm about to read, you can find them in my new book, Leadership Cheat Code. All right. So here we go. I'm going to read through it. You're going to repeat it to yourself, and then you're going to type in the comments, I agree with that. Okay. So here we go. I am capable. I am responsible. I am grateful. I am focused on growth. I control my attitude. I am authentically me everywhere I go. I am worthy of God's best for me. I am patient with myself. I am patient with others. I have compassion for myself. And I have compassion for others. I embrace positive thinking. I welcome abundance and prosperity into my life. I am courageous and I have peace. I forgive myself and I forgive others. My spirit is renewed. My mind is free. I have a success mindset. I have a clear vision. I am a discipline builder. I am accountable to my goals. I am innovative. I am influential. I am a winner. I am healed and whole. Today I choose peace. Today I choose joy. Today I choose faith. And today I choose to flourish. I give myself permission to be successful. I give myself permission to take up space. I give myself permission to live my dreams. I give myself permission to win. I am a visionary. I see beyond my present. I think beyond limitations. I create the future. Nothing is impossible for me. Nothing is impossible for me. I can have it. I can become it. I can overcome it. I can heal from it. Good morning, Lexi. Good morning, Maverick. I can recover. I can start over and still win. I can build it. I can write it. I can launch it. Nothing is impossible for me. That is the headspace that I want you to stay in as you're pursuing your goals this year. You're going after that big thing. Nothing is impossible for me. I can own it. It can be fully funded. I can move there. I can become the person that I see in my head. I can become. Nothing is impossible for me. So stay in that headspace as you're going through the year and as you're pursuing your goals. All right? Nothing is impossible for me. I can have it. I can become it. I can overcome it. I can heal from it. I can recover. I can go there. I can launch it. Nothing is impossible for me. So I want you to stay in that headspace. All right? Doesn't matter your background. Doesn't matter the mistakes that you have made. It doesn't what society says, because based on what society says, I should not be as successful as I am today, right? I wouldn't say that I have a traditional high school experience. I dropped out in 7th grade, in the 8th grade, but yet I am successful. So society says, oh, if you don't have that foundational stuff, then you won't be successful. Lies. So nothing is impossible for you. You can have it. You can become it. You can overcome it. You can heal. You can recover. You can start over and still win. Okay? And I want you to believe that, because that's the only way it's going to be possible in your life. You have to believe that. Nothing is impossible for me. All right? Okay. Great, 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 great. Here are your need to knows really quickly. Here are your need to knows. For those of you who are new here, I am a master life coach and mentor. So for those of you who are looking for mentorship in this season, you need guidance, you need accountability, you need systems and structure in your life to help you execute on your life goals. You're going to message me the word mentor. I'll get you some details as to how you can work with me so we can get those goals accomplished and you can actually live out the thing that you see in your head, the life that you see in your head, the life that you've been writing and putting on a vision board for years. I'm the one to help you execute on that. All right. Good morning, Lilia. How are you? How you doing? It's good to see you on. All right. So you're going to message me the word mentor if you are looking for a mentor in the season and you want to work with me. All right. Okay. Great, 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 great. Again, for those of you who want a signed copy of the book, you are going to message me. I'm doing shipping today. So if you want to get into the batch for shipping today, if you want a copy of my book, Leadership Cheat Code, a signed copy, you're going to message me. You're going to message me the word book. Okay? All right. And I'll send you the details. Okay. I see you. Thank you for messaging me. I see you. Okay. All right. Great, 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 great. So tomorrow night is night 2 or week 2 for our Mom's Mentorship Financial Edition. I know there's some of you that wanted to get in. Message me the word mom. I'll send you the details. Again, this is week 2. We do not have a replay for week 1. So if you want to join us in week 2, that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. It's 4 weeks of, well, you missed week 1, so we have 3 weeks left. So you'll get 3 weeks of financial mentorship. If you're a mom that could benefit from that, you need some help in the area of finances, you're going to message me the word mom. I'll get you the details so you can join us for week 2, which is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Okay, we do have Bible study tonight, 7 p.m. on my ministry page, World Changers. So you are going to find me on here. World Changers is my ministry page for tonight's live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. All right. Key, I see you. I see your message. I got it. Keys with Denise. Message me the word mentor. Okay. Send it to me in a message. I won't be able to respond to your comments. So you got to send it to me in a message so I can respond to the message, okay? Let me know if you need help with figuring out how to send it. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. So I think we can get into the word of the day now. So we'll do the word of the day and then I will open up for Q&A. So have your questions ready. Have your questions ready for me, okay? Whatever questions you think of, write it down or keep it top of mind. So I'm going to try to get through most of this and then I'll open up the floor for Q&A. So you can ask me your questions. I got to make up for all those days that I've been rushing, right? All those days that I've been rushing to, that I've been doing a hard stop at 7:10. I want to make up for those days. Okay. All right. So let's get into the word of the day. Today, the word of the day is authenticity, and we are on page 84. Authenticity is the word of the day, and we are on page 84 of my book, Leadership Cheat Code. Again, if you want a copy so you can follow along, you're going to message me the word book. Okay. You're going to message me the word book if you want a copy. So authenticity is the word of the day. We're on page 84, 85, and 86. Okay. All right. All right. So I won't get through all of it because, again, I want to make room for Q&A. So for those of you who want to get all of the details, you got to grab a copy of the book. It is worth the investment. Okay, it's worth the investment. And if you want a signed copy, message me the word book and I'll tell you how to get it. Okay, I'll send you the link so you can buy a signed copy. All right, Great, great, great. Let's get into the word of the day. So today, the word of the day is authenticity. And the theme for this word, courage to be real. Courage to be real. There's so many of us just performing our way through life, right? And not performing from an authentic standpoint, but just doing what we think people want us to do, right? But it's time to cut that out because it's exhausting. It is. It is exhausting. Yes, courage to be real. All right, so let's get into my notes. I'll try not to deviate from the notes. I'm going to try. All right, so let's stick to it. So today's word has to become both a personal value and a professional necessity for you. Authenticity is about being true to yourself, to your values, to your beliefs, and your identity. Okay? Even when it's uncomfortable, unpopular, or misunderstood. It's the art of leading, living, and communicating from a place of truth instead of performance. And in a world that often rewards imitation, authenticity is your competitive edge. I want you to know that. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not. And I celebrate that. I do not want to be like everybody. I don't. I love me. I do. Now, it builds trust, deepens influence, and creates alignment between who you are privately and who you show up as publicly. Authenticity is not about being perfect, right? It's not about you being perfect and getting it all together and your life is just aligned. No, that's not what it's about. It's not about perfection. It's about being consistent with your truth that only you can live out. Okay? Now, by definition, authenticity is the quality of being genuine, showing up as your true self without disguise or distortion. Okay? So it means speaking truth even when it costs you popularity. I'm going to say what I got to say because it is my truth. And I don't want to say that in a disrespectful sense because some people will go on the deep end when it comes to speaking their truth and they don't care who it hurts. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? That's not the part that I'm talking about where you're so insensitive and just full of ego and pride. That is not being authentic. It isn't. That is putting on a show. That's what that is. Putting on a show. So that's not the talking truth or sticking to your truth that I'm talking about. Okay? All right? I just wanted to make that distinction. All right? So it's speaking truth even when it costs you popularity. It means making decisions that reflects your core values, not the crowd's opinion. So I'm not doing this to please the crowd because the crowd, as we know, will shout Hosanna today and tomorrow they will say crucify him or her. Okay? So you're doing it based on your core values. I'm showing up based on my core values, right? I'm executing based on my core values. I'm not doing this so the crowd can see me or the crowd can applaud because, again, we know the crowd will shout for you today, Hosanna, and tomorrow they'll say crucify, okay? The one mistake that you make out of the 100 times that you did something, they'll say crucify you. Okay? So you got to be operating from your core values and not to please the crowd. All right? It means leading from integrity and not just image. Okay? Now, authenticity is alignment between your inner conviction and your outer expression. It's not about sharing everything. It's about ensuring that what you do share is honest and grounded in truth. People may admire your success, but they connect with your authenticity. So for those of you who are struggling with connection, you got to check to see, am I being my authentic self or am I just putting on a show? Because there are people out there, hey Malcolm, good morning, that they can smell fake. They can know that you're not being your authentic self, and that is a repellent. It will repel those who should be connecting to you. Okay? So be authentic. Be you. Be you. Okay? Takes too much energy to have multiple personality. Oh, when the camera is on, I got to remember to be this person. When the camera is off, oh, I can just be this person. Or when I'm there, I can just be that person. It takes too much energy. So I'm just going to be me. That's it. It takes too much energy to have multiple personality and having to figure out, okay, how do I operate when I'm here, when I'm in this room, when I'm with that person? How should I operate? I'm just going to be me. Okay? All right. You connect better when you just be yourself. Be the authentic you. All right. Now, some common barriers to authenticity. Hey, Waret, good morning. How are you? Some common barriers to authenticity. There are three major forces that challenges authenticity, especially for high achievers and leaders, right? The first one is the pressure to perform. The more visible you become, the greater the temptation to perform rather than just be present. Be you and be in the moment and be there. You start to feel that you must always be on. You get tempted to project confidence or hide imperfections. Don't do that, because somebody's going to figure out. It's either they're going to accept you that you're not good at this thing, or you've made this mistake, or they're not going to accept you. And that's just it. It's okay. It's okay. All right? You don't have to hide your imperfections. If they like you, they like you. If they don't like you, that's it. It's fine. It's okay. All right? All right. So the truth is, people respond more to the real than the flawless. Because if you're always projecting, oh, I got it all together. You all know, I always tell you, I do not have it all together. I am not perfect. I am intentional. That I am. I am intentional, but I'm not perfect. Okay? All right. The second thing is the fear of rejection. That's the second thing. Authenticity often requires vulnerability, and vulnerability carries some level of risk with it. But the cost of hiding your true self is higher than the risk of being misunderstood. If they want to misunderstand the true you, let them misunderstand you. Okay? Don't hide who you are. Don't. Because subconsciously, you're going to recognize that you're betraying yourself. You're betraying the true you. And then what happens? You start to compromise. You start to let people do whatever they want to do to you because you are not true to you. You're not true to you. Right? You're not true to you. You're afraid of you. You're afraid of facing who you truly are. And that causes you to compromise and just settle for whatever. So we got to fix that. Let me calm down. Let me relax. Yes, be yourself. Absolutely, Maverick. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you cannot lead effectively while managing everyone's perception of you. And when I say lead, it's not just about leading a group of people, but leading self. Leading yourself. You cannot lead yourself effectively if you're always trying to manage the perception of everybody. Well, what does this one think about me? What does the team on the job think about me? What does my family think about? What does that? You cannot manage everybody's perception of you. You can't. Good morning. You can't manage everybody's perception of you. You can't. You can't lead effectively and try to manage all of that. They're just going to think what they want to think. I see you, Aaron. So you'll drive yourself crazy trying to please everybody. There's no way you can do that. So it's best you just be yourself. Okay? Just be yourself. They're either going to accept you or not. This is who I am. These are my core values that I live by. This is just me. Right? All right? So the goal is not to be accepted by all. It is to be aligned with yourself and those who are truly for you. Not everybody. Everybody's not your people. Everybody's not going to agree with the way you think, with the way that you work, with the way that you show up. Everybody's not going to agree with that. And that's okay. They're entitled to their own opinion. That's all right. I'm not offended. I love me. I'm not offended. I'm not. Okay? And this is next level growth, because if you really want to go to the highest height that you can get to in personal development, in professional development, right? You have to truly love you. Because as you go up, there are people that are going to find fault with you. All different types of fault. Oh, you're this. Oh, you look like this. Oh, you show up like this. Oh, you're not supposed to do it like that. I'm okay with me. Okay? I love me. All right? So get there so you can show up as your authentic self. Everyone is not for you, and it is okay. Don't change yourself to please them. Don't change yourself to please anybody. Okay? All right. The third thing, the trap of comparison. When you compare your journey to someone else, you lose sight of your uniqueness. Authenticity says there's room for me and I'll do it my way. There's room for me and I'll do it my way. Comparison clouds your identity, but authenticity clarifies it so that you know what direction to go in to create the life that you desire, not the life that somebody wants for you. No, the life that you desire. Now, here are the mindset. Here's the mindset of authentic living. Now, authenticity begins with an internal conviction that says, who I am is enough. I don't need to change for everybody that comes and goes. Who I am is enough. Now, here are 3 mindset principles to cultivate authenticity. The first one is self-awareness. So knowing who you are. You cannot be authentic without knowing exactly who you are. Take an inventory. Understand your values, your motivations, your triggers. That's something very important to understand, right? You got to know what your triggers are, because somebody will say something and then you'll start to switch up because that thing that they said triggered you and you didn't understand, or you didn't know how to handle it because you haven't spent time to really dig into these triggers that you have. So now you start to switch up to be somebody else because they said a word that triggered you. You got to do the deep work. I know all of this is deep. And if you're not able to do it on your own, here's what I'll say, because this is really deep stuff, right? This is not surface level rebranding. It's not surface level. Oh, let me change the way that I dress, or let me change my hair. That's surface. Okay. What I'm giving you today is deep work. Deep work. And if you're not able to do it, if you're not able to work through the triggers that you have, get somebody to talk to. Okay. Get somebody to talk to help you walk through it. All right. Jenny's on here. She's in the comments. She can help you. You can reach out to her. And if she's able to help you within her scope, she will help you. Okay. All right. She's in the comments. So if you know you have triggers, if somebody say a certain thing that triggers you, and then all of a sudden you switch up, right? Switch up your personality. You start to act like a different person because of what they said, what you saw, what you heard. All of that triggered you, and you're no longer your authentic self. You're starting to perform. You got to work through that stuff because that's going to hold you back. Okay? Stephen, we need to be reminded of this teaching. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you got to do the deep work. When you show up to my life, for those of you who are new here, I don't just give you candy, because eventually if all you get is sweet stuff, you're going to have dental problems. So when you come here, I'm giving you deep stuff. You got to do the deep work. If you truly want to become, you got to do the deep work. You got to face yourself. All right? All right? I'm not yelling. Let me calm down. I want you to get it. I want all of us to go up. Okay? Yes. Dentists. They're going to need the dentist. If all you do is come on and they give you a nice word to say, right? They give you a nice word and you never do the deep work. These are things that keep you in cycles. Okay? If somebody is teaching you and they're teaching you over a period of time and nothing that they say ever hits you in a deep place, then that's not sufficient. They're setting you up for failure. They're setting you up to stay in a cycle. You got to face you, because it's not always an outside element that causes us to delay or fail. It's not always an outside element. Sometimes it's us. We're not facing ourselves. So if you're getting teaching, any type of teaching from anybody, and they're always telling you about outside forces, oh, enemy, hater this, hater that. No, sometimes you are the problem. Sometimes we are the problem. Yes, self-reflection. Sometimes we are the problem. So when you show up here, I teach from a place of personal responsibility, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. Whatever your life becomes, whatever outcome that you get, it stops with you. At a certain point in your life, you should no longer be blaming outside forces. Okay? I'm a master life coach, Sheila. So at a certain point in your life, you should no longer be blaming outside forces. What is your contribution? What is the decision that you have made for yourself? What are the standards that you're standing on? What are the boundaries that you put in place? Okay? So if everything that you're hearing is hater this, hater that, they did this, they did that, at what point are you going to face you and evaluate you? Yes, some of the things that happen in our lives, we were born into it, but at a certain point, you have to stop and say, you know what? It's time for me to take control. Let me face me. How have I contributed to this mess? How have I contributed to this pattern? Okay? And not for self-condemnation, but for you to grow from there. Okay, I'm not going to make this decision anymore. I'm not going to go to this place anymore. I'm really going to manage my connections better. Okay? All right, I hope that helps somebody. But again, when you show up to my live, and I hope that you come back, when you show up to my live, it's not all hater this, hater did that, hate. No. You got to take personal responsibility for the life that you want, the success that you want. Okay? You have to take personal responsibility for that. All right? What nationality? I'm Jamaican. I'm Jamaican by birth. I'm American by papers. That's what I always say. Okay? All right. I hope that helps somebody. But again, you got to take inventory of your values, your motivations, and your triggers. So you're going to ask yourself, what truly matters to me in this season of my life? What matters to me today? Now, what do I want to accomplish? How do I want to feel? What type of lifestyle do I want to live? Right? What ways do I need to heal? So you got to ask yourself, what truly matters to me in this season? What matters to me? For those of you who are just coming in the room, we're reading from my book, Leadership Cheat Code. So today we're talking about authenticity, and we're on page 84. If you want a copy of the book, you're going to message me the word book. Okay? You're going to message me the word book so you can get your copy. All right? God by the blood. Yes. Yes, Miss Jennifer. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So questions that you're going to ask yourself. C and V, send me a message with the word book. Okay. I won't be able to respond to your comments. Once I close the live out, I cannot reply to comments. So that's why I'm asking you to send it to me in a message. All right. Send it to me in a message. Matters to me is it in alignment with God's will for me? Absolutely. 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 Are you on WhatsApp? I'm on WhatsApp, but that's just for family and friends, not for business. So you can send me a message on here, okay? Thank you, Samir. Thank you. All right. So questions that you're going to ask yourself. What truly matters to me in this season of life? What do I stand or believe in? So again, you have to have standards. You have to operate from your core values, okay? So what do I stand on? What do I believe in? What do I need to stop pretending about? These are questions that you're going to ask yourself, okay? Someone who loses discipline and concentration. You got to figure out your why, Bob. You got to figure out your why. What is your why? If your why is strong enough, you will remain disciplined and you will concentrate. Okay, if you know that everything is going to fall apart if you don't do that thing, you will get up and do it. It doesn't matter how much you're hurting, how disappointing you are or disappointed you are, you're going to get up and do that thing. But when it comes to discipline and concentration, you have to have a strong why. If your why is not strong enough, you'll never do it. You'll never stay committed to it. Every distraction will pull you off. If you know that your kids are going to starve if you don't go to this job, you're going to get up and go to that job, even when they're frustrating you. So when it comes to discipline and concentration, you need to have a strong why. Okay, Bob? That's how you realign that. You need a strong why. You got to understand why you're doing the thing. All right? Okay. So authenticity is rooted in clarity. If you want to get clear, you have to become more self-aware. The second thing, you're welcome. Thank you for asking your question. The second thing, courage. You have to cultivate courage. Authenticity requires bravery, the willingness to show up imperfectly, but honestly. Okay? I'm not perfect, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. So courage says, I'd rather be real and rejected than fake and accepted. Every time you choose truth over image, your confidence grows. I'm not going to lie to you to fit in, because I'm always going to have to live with that lie. And we don't want to do that to ourselves. Okay? We don't want to do that. The third thing is integrity. Integrity means your action aligns with your identity. Authenticity without integrity is just superficial branding. That's all it is. It's image management. So integrity is a discipline that keeps your authenticity credible all the time. Not just when you're in this room or that room or with this person or with that person. Okay? All right. So I'm going to give you the framework. And then I'm going to give you the framework, and then I'll open up for Q&A. Okay? Levy? I hope I said that right. Levy, keep showing up, okay? If I speak slowly, you're going to fall asleep. You're not going to be interested in what I'm saying. I'm reading from my manuscript. Okay? So if I speak slowly, you're going to fall asleep. You're not going to think this thing is interesting. But if you keep showing up, your ears will adjust to the speed at which I speak. Okay? All right? I was just saying that I'm Jamaican, so my accent may get in the way. But keep showing up. All right, let's work through the framework. Let's work through it. Okay, so the framework for cultivating your authentic self. Okay, so it's the acronym AIMS, AIMS. So A is awareness. Notice when you're editing yourself to fit in. You got to recognize that. Oh, I just shifted my presentation because I wanted to fit into this crowd. So you're going to notice when you're editing yourself to fit in. Awareness is the first step towards alignment. So you're going to ask yourself, am I saying or doing this from a place of truth or from a place of fear? Am I saying this because I fear they will reject me if I don't say it? Am I showing up in this way because I fear they won't like me if I show up my real self? So you got to ask yourself, am I doing this from truth or am I doing it from fear? Are you editing yourself from a place of fear or truth? You got to ask yourself that. How can I get the book? You're going to message me, okay? Send me a message. All right? Levi? I hope I said it right. Levy. I think it's Levy. I have a friend whose name is Levy, and that's how I spell it. So you're going to message me the word book, okay? For those of you who want a copy of the book, you're going to message me the word book. Okay, great. So message me the word book, and I'll tell you how to get a copy. Okie dokie? All right. So that was A. A for awareness. I is for intention. Be intentional about your presence, okay? Show up on purpose, not on autopilot. Don't just go there just to go there. What's the purpose of going there? How is this going to benefit me? How is this going to help me to grow? Am I going to support someone that is in alignment with where I'm going? Or this is just a random, we don't do random stuff, okay? If you want to get to fulfillment and get to who you're trying to become, you cannot keep operating on autopilot. The things that you do, the things that you say, the places you go, the people that you connect with, there has to be a purpose behind it. Okay? There has to be a purpose behind it. You can't just do random stuff because you're going to stretch yourself so thin that you won't be able to do the things that are necessary to get you to where you're trying to go or become the person that you're trying to become. All right? So show up on purpose, not on autopilot. Every meeting, every conversation, or every post is an opportunity to lead from your core values. This is what I believe. This is what I stand on. Your authentic self. Okay? And M, meaning. Know your why. As I just said to Bob, you gotta know your why. When your purpose drives your performance or your show up, authenticity flows naturally. When you know your why. I'm building legacy, so I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta get this book written. I gotta get this business up and running. I am building legacy. The future of my kids, my grandkids, depends on it. Okay? All right? I have a grandson. Let me show you all. This picture is so old, but that's my grandson right there. Okay? I do what I do because I'm building legacy. Like, I want him to be okay. Okay? I want him to be okay. So I'm going to get up and do what I got to do. So you have to understand your meaning behind what you do. Okay? Understand the meaning behind what you do. Hey, Boogeyman, how are you? How you doing? It's been a minute. Okay? So, meaning, know your why. When your purpose drives your performance or your show up, authenticity flows naturally. You stop performing for validation and start contributing from value. Deliver value from your authentic self, okay? Make sure there is meaning to what you do and say. All right? All right. And the S is for self-expression. That's what the S is for, self-expression. Authenticity is expressed through your voice, your decisions, your boundaries. Don't mute your brilliance to make others comfortable. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm telling you from experience because you're going to suffocate the you that is trying to emerge. If you mute your brilliance because oh, I don't want my light to seem like it's brighter than someone else's light that is in your sphere. Don't do that. Because you're going to suffocate that you that is trying to emerge, the next version of you. And even though it's so crazy because you can be doing the work to become. You can be doing the work to be the best version of yourself, but still you're dimming your light because the group that you're in, you don't want to outshine them. You don't want to outshine them because they don't make you feel comfortable being your authentic self, which is brilliant and excellent and productive and ambitious. So you're either going to be who you're working on being or adjust yourself to please them, but then you're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be fulfilled. So don't mute your brilliance to make others comfortable. If your light is too bright for them, tell them to put some shades on. But I'm going to do this thing. I have been working on me for a very long time. Like I envision myself being this person and I've been doing the work. Why should I minimize all the work that I've done on myself, all the healing that I've done on myself to please you who just wants to stay at the level that you're at? That's not fair to me, right? Why should I hide my authentic self that I've done all of this work to build up to please you? Why should I mute all this brilliance that I have because I've invested the time in studying, in knowing my craft? Why should I mute that to please you who's okay with mediocrity, who's okay with making excuses, who's okay with not being disciplined? Why should I mute me, the brilliance that I've been working on for years, right? This is how I want you to think about it, okay? This is how I want you to think about it. You've put the work in to become this individual. Now you are. Your light shines bright. When you open your mouth, you impact, you change lives, you bring solution. Why should you mute that? All the tears you cried, all the days that you could have been out there having fun, but you were investing in your knowledge, right? Why should you mute that? That's not fair, right? So that's how I want you to think about this thing. That's how I want you to think about it. Don't mute your brilliance for someone else to be comfortable. If they make you feel uncomfortable being who you truly are, then that may not be the right connection for you. Okay? So own your perspective, and that's what makes your leadership or your executive presence distinctive. So be your authentic self. Okay? All right, so that's the framework. I'm going to stop it there so that I can take some questions from you all. Again, if you want a copy of the book so you can get the rest of the strategy, you're going to message me the word book. Okay? If you want a copy of the book so you can get the rest of it, because there's so much more to get through. All of this down here to get through. All right, but I want to make time for Q&A. I want to make time to answer some questions because I've been rushing out of here for the last how many days. So has been disturbed in the presence of a few specific people. Are there scriptures I can read to understand? Wait, it says continue to the next. Continue to the next. Where's the next? Oh, am I missing something? Okay, so my soul has been disturbed in the presence of a few specific people. Are there scriptures I can read to understand? So the story of David, you can read. The story of Joseph, you can read to encourage yourself, right? The story of David and Joseph, you can read, okay? Because they were anointed and called to be something great, and others did not agree with that. They didn't look the part. They don't believe they should have the part. So you could read those stories to encourage yourself. So the story of King David, well, his younger self. So that's what? Is that in Samuel? 2 Samuel? 2 Samuel to 1 Kings? Somewhere there. And then Joseph is in Genesis. Okay, so those stories you can read. I can see the second part. Oh, I can't see the second part. It says go to the next comment, but I'm trying to find it. It says continue in next comment. That's all it says for me, Erin. So I didn't see the second part of it. I didn't see the second part of the question. Now, for those of you who are on here, if you have a question for me, just post your question, okay? So I can answer it. But again, those two stories will really help you. And even the story of Daniel, right? Daniel, when the other counterparts wanted to get him down for praying, right? You could read that part of the story to encourage yourself, but he continued to pray. And even in that, what he went through in the den, that led him to promotion. Okay, so those are stories that you can read to encourage yourself if there are individuals that you are feeling some discomfort that you're around. Okay, Joseph had no choice. They were his brothers. So the only way for him to escape that was for God to put him on his path, right? David, the same way. Those were his brothers. There was no other way to escape than for God to put him on his path to destiny. Okay? Daniel, he was in captivity, so there really was no getting out of that, right? He had to serve, 75 years they were in captivity for? I think that was the prophecy for 75 years. So he was in captivity. He couldn't escape that, but he still continued to do what the Lord ordained for them to do. He still kept the holy ordinances of praying. And they didn't like that. Can anyone see the second part? If they send, okay. If they send an assignment by God to grow me, or, okay. So you want to distinguish between, is this a good agitation, or is it an evil agitation? That's what you want to distinguish. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I get it. I get it. So here's how you're going to know if it's a good agitation. And this can be difficult, right? Can be difficult. If what the person is doing and saying, if yes, it annoys you and it makes you upset at the first go around, right? When it first happened, you're offended. But as time goes on, you can evaluate and see, you know what they did made me think more critically. Okay? I never used to pay attention to this detail, but what they said to me caused me now to assess the details. I'll give you a real example. The first job I got, so after I got my promotion, so the first job I got ever worked, the first job I ever worked, right? I was a waitress, worked for Beaches and Sandals. So I told y'all my story. I wanted a promotion, but I did not have the education requirement for the promotion. I did not have that. So my way to get the promotion was that I needed to enter this pageant, right? I had pageantry experience. My mom had me in pageantry since I was like 6 years old. So I had pageantry experience. So they had an annual pageant for the company, and anybody that won that pageant, they would get a promotion, right? So that was my only way because I did not have the educational background for the promotion. Did that, won the competition, got the promotion. Here is my manager. That lady made me cry almost every day. That lady made me cry. She was so hard on me, so tough on me. But here's the thing, I look back now and my work ethic, the excellence that I show, the way that I speak, all of that had to do with her because I got to a point in the job because I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave the job because, again, my educational background would not get me in. That was just kind of my way. I had to win this pageant to get this promotion. So it's like, okay, I have to learn her, right? The things that she was nitpicking about, I learned that. So whenever she would come to my office and be like, why is this? Why is that? I learned all the things that she would complain about. And when I see her coming up, I would be so ready. I would have everything in hand. Here's the issue. Here's what I've done. Here's why it's still not moving forward, right? So yes, she was agitating me, but that was helping me develop. When I got to this country and I heard people complaining about certain things that they had to do, I was like, listen, if you had a manager like I had before I moved here, you'd be saying something different. So I recognize how that agitation helped me to grow. Okay? So if whatever they're doing to you is helping you to self-exam and helping you to master some things, now that is good agitation. Okay? Take heed to that. Now, if the agitation is just putting you down and just discrediting you and you're now getting dissatisfied with self, right? There's no growth at all. The criticism is just inhumane. That is definitely evil. Okay? They're just backstabbing and just doing all of this crazy stuff. Now that is evil. But what we do know as believer is that God can use all things to work out for our good. So even the negative, the evil attacks, that can still work out for your good. Now it's going to be your personal decision to say, you know what? This attack is hard. It's difficult, but I'm going to come. It's hard. It's difficult, but I'm going to come out of better. Okay, so yes, some agitations, they're for you to grow. And in the moment, you may get offended, but after a while, as you continue to move, you can see where, you know what, that was good for me. I needed that. I needed them to do that, to be on my back like that, because I'm better for it today. Okay? I'm better for it today. So that is how you're going to distinguish. Okay? As you go on, yes, it happened and you were offended and you may cry. Like I said, I cried every day. Every day I cried because this lady was just on my back. Okay. She was just on my back. Like I couldn't make any mistakes. But I can see how that helped me to be a better person today. All right. So that is how you can distinguish it. Is it helping me to grow and be a better person? And even if this person is agitating me and it's really hard, it's really difficult, you still got to stand on your belief. Again, having your beliefs, sticking to them, you got to stand on your belief that even this hard, this difficult, this evil thing that this person is doing to me, God can work it out for my good. Okay? All right. It's just their presence. They don't have to say anything. Their mere existence disturbs my soul. I understand what you're saying. Okay. So this is going to be deep. Some people are going to be like, oh, that's hocus pocus. But it's not. It's not hocus pocus. I promise you. We are more spiritual beings than physical. Okay? So there is something in you that is sensing something in them that your spirit does not agree with. That's what's happening there. Okay? So if they're not opening their mouth and it's just their presence alone, there's something in on the spiritual side of things that is not connecting. Okay? So your spirit can read something in their spirit and it's not connecting. So make sure that you're always in prayer. If you have to be in the presence of this person, make sure that you're always in prayer. And you can pray for their deliverance, but if they don't desire it, it's not going to happen. Okay? But make sure that you're always in prayer when you're in the presence of that person. But we all got to understand that the spiritual element is very real. It's very real. If you are always in the presence of somebody and like they don't have to open their mouths for you to just feel agitated, it's a spiritual thing. All right? I hope that helped you, but definitely it's a spiritual thing. So always be in prayer when you're in their presence. Always be in prayer. And again, you can pray for their deliverance, but if they don't want it, it's never going to happen. So you just cover yourself, okay? Cover yourself. Thank you, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't overreacting. No, it's definitely spiritual. It's definitely a spiritual thing. During the challenge process, I learned to move forward, as Coach said, and continue to pray. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Any other question for me? Any other question? I've experienced people like this. They are wounded spiritually. Yes, absolutely, Maverick. Yep. Yes, indeed. So I'm telling you, like the spiritual realm, it's very real. And if you choose to not acknowledge that, you're going to miss a lot of things that you could have prevented, but because you don't believe in the spiritual aspect of life, you're missing it. You're missing it. And you can't afford to do that. All right. Any other questions for me before we go into our declarations? Let me know. I feel the same way. It makes it difficult when they want to be around you. Yeah, because here's the thing. They're always going to try to influence and pull you to their side. Okay? They're always going to try to influence and pull you into whether the misery they're going through, they're trying to find something that you can bond around, and next thing they're pulling you to their side of misery. But you cannot afford that. So that is why when you're in their presence, if you cannot avoid it, make sure that you're always praying. Okay? And guard how much you say. Guard how much you say. All right? Okay, great. Any other questions? Any other questions? Don't tell me this girl missed the bus. She better not miss the bus. All right. Any other question? I posted a question. Live event happening in the future. Where would you love to have it? In Florida? But again, we're working the details out. And if I do host an in-person event, there would be like a special invitation. Right. She need to ride the bus. I heard the bus pull up and I heard her slam the door. So I know she's running to the bus. You doing these days? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I have, because a lot of people will wonder this, like you show up all the time, like you're always pouring. I do have specific routines that I stick to help replenish me. So I'm not just showing up and pouring. I have specific routines that I do to help me, right? To help pour back into me. So I make time for that. It may not be public, right, on here, but I do have that. I do have that. Especially when I go to church on Sundays. Okay? I love it. I love it. I truly do. All right? Any other questions? Any other questions for me? But yes, Maverick, if I do host an in-person event, I would like to do it in Florida. I would, but it would be a special invitation. It wouldn't just be open to any and everybody on the internet. I'm not there yet with that trust factor. Not there yet. So it would just be special invitation for that event. Okay? Again, you got to understand the spiritual realm and even the physical realm. Not everybody's intention is the same, and what somebody may think that, oh, I'm just being a good friend by doing this, I may not think that is it. So if I do have an in-person event, it would be special invitation. No longer blind trusting people, they have to earn it. Yes, I do believe in that. That is a standard that I stand on. That is a standard. I'm not the person that, okay, we're having a conversation for 2 weeks and then all of a sudden we're best friends. That's not me. I don't do that. If that works for you, it works for you, but not for me. That's not the way that I choose to live. No, we're not going to be talking for 2 weeks and all of a sudden we're best friends. No, that's, nope. Got a standard around that. I do. Because I know who I am. Again, you got to know who you are. I cannot just open up myself to every and anybody. I can't do that because I know who I am. I understand my assignment and I understand the potential attacks that could come with that assignment. And this is why you got to know yourself. Okay? This is why you got to know yourself, because when you truly know yourself, you don't just connect to random people and everybody is my best friend. And no, when you know yourself, understand your call, understand your why, understand your assignment, you also understand the types of attack that is possible, potential attacks that would come with this call, with this assignment. So you got to protect yourself. The Lord is protecting you, but you got to use wisdom as well. Okay? All right. Okay. Any other questions? I am in fear of failure condition. What can I do? Fear of failure condition. Koi, expand on that. I'm in fear of failure condition. So I'll say this if I got it correct, what you're trying to say. If I got it correct, I'm just going to address the fear of failure part. Okay? The fear of failure. Now, if you don't do this thing, what's going to happen to your life? You're going to stay the same. So what you have to decide is staying the same okay for me? Am I good with where I'm at right now? If you're good, then don't do anything to fail. Okay? Don't do anything to fail. If you're okay with where your life is at, if you're okay with your finances, if you're okay with the people who are in your circle, if you're okay with your living condition, if you're okay with your educational status, then don't do anything to fail. But if you want any of these aspects to change, your finances, your connection, your education, business if you have one, you're gonna have to accept that failure is just a part of the journey. I'm not gonna get it right. I'm not gonna get it right. And I heard somebody say that fear of failure is a type of prideful act because you want to know it all. You want to have all the answers before you try. And that is an act of pride, wanting to know it all. Okay? So the two things that you have to consider for anybody who struggles with fear of failure, are you okay with your current situation? If you're okay with your current situation, then don't try anything that has the possibility of failing. But if you're not okay, you want to grow, you want to become, you want to go higher, failure is a part of the journey. It is. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to connect to some people that you're going to look back and say, man, what was I thinking? But it's okay. There's a lesson there. Learn the lesson and move on. Okay? God, I was home to catch a live this morning. Awesome. I'm happy that you're on. Okay, so anybody that is struggling with fear of failure, you got to consider, am I okay with my life or do I want more? If you want more, that comes with the risk of failure. Okay? So if you're going to take the chance to go for more, just settle in your mind. You know what? I'm not always going to get it right. Some things are not going to work out right. And I always share, when I was in my searching for the right business phase, I invested so much money in printing stuff. I was studying sublimation. I had so much inventory on hand that I never sold, right? It failed. It didn't work out. I ordered all these t-shirts, all these. I promise you, some still in my garage today. I have mugs. I have water bottles for sublimation printing, all of that. I just took the heat press because my son had brought it into my laundry room because he was testing it out. The heat press that I purchased to do the t-shirt, I just brought it back out to the garage the other day. I did. So yes, that business idea failed, but the lessons that I learned about money, my relationship with money. I learned about my personal value, that the way that I price some things, it's telling what I think about myself, right? And those lessons, they're priceless. If I didn't take a chance and try this business that failed, I would not have known that. I wouldn't, right? And the inventory sitting around still saying, oh, you tried that business and it didn't work. And I have some of the mugs in my kitchen as well. And when I see the mug, it's like, oh, you tried that business and it didn't work. But you know what? The lessons are good. Okay? So you got to decide, am I okay with my life how it is, or do I want more? If you want more, you're going to take a chance at failing. And that is just a part of the journey. Okay? Yes, the lessons are always valuable. Absolutely. It's very tough when failure becomes enough. So let's say that you've been trying something and you just keep failing, right? The next thing that I would suggest is that you find a mentor or a coach. Okay? So if you want to start a business, you have no idea, and if you want to minimize your risk, so I'll say that. If you want to minimize the risk of failure, find a mentor or find a coach. Find somebody who has done it and is very successful at it. They can help you to avoid some of the pitfalls. Yes, you'll still make some mistakes, but if you want to minimize the risk of failure, get you a coach, get you a mentor to help you do this thing. Okay? So for those of you who are afraid of failure, that is the plan. So first you're going to assess, am I good with where I'm at? If you're not good with where you're at, take a risk on yourself. Know that risk is risk of failure. If you want to minimize the risk, you're going to get a coach, you're going to get a mentor, you're going to look to somebody who has done the thing that you're trying to do and is successful at it. That's it. You just got to have a plan and work the plan. Have a plan and work the plan. Make a decision, because that's where frustration usually comes in. There's a decision that needs to be made. There's some help that I need to get, but I'm not getting it. That's why you're frustrated. That's why you're stagnant. You got to make a decision. You got to get the help that you need. All right? If you want to move forward. Okay? Me, I had to change how I define failure. As long as I learned something, it wasn't failure. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how you got to look at it. All right? So for any of you that's on here that has that fear of failure, it comes with it. It comes with it. And you can't say, I'm afraid of failing, but yet you are afraid of investing in yourself to get the help that you need. You can't say that. It's one or the other. Okay? All right. I hope that helped you. Any other questions before I go? I got to go finish preparing for Bible study tonight. Any other questions before I go? I hope that this live has helped you today. I hope so. So I want you to be your authentic self. Okay? Be your authentic self. Where's Morning Glory? So they moved to the front of the house. So Morning Glory and some friends moved to the front of the house, and then I don't hear them anymore. So I don't know. I don't know. The house is still out there though. The house is still hanging up. Always have the right answer. So that comes with experience, Almas. It comes with experience. That's what it comes with experience. If I never put myself out there, I would not have answers for anybody. And again, for those who are saying they're afraid of failure, how are you going to help somebody else? If you never take a chance, if you never mess up and figure your way back, you can't have answers to help anybody. Especially if you have children, you got to take a risk on yourself so you can learn some lessons to teach them. Right? So you can learn some lessons to teach them. Because you don't just want to keep telling them, oh, go to that person, go ask that person, go ask that person. What are the lessons that you are teaching them? Okay? So having the answers comes with experience. And me choosing to see my experience not as failures but life lessons. That's what they are. You're welcome, Malcolm. You are welcome. So the word of the day, authenticity. Let me give you the declarations and then I've got to go. Let me go prepare for Bible study tonight. So again, 7 p.m. tonight, I will be on my ministry page, World Changers. Find me at World Changers on this platform, okay? Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. All right, let's make some declarations. I'm going to decree for all of us, and you're going to type in the comments, I agree with that. You can also find the declarations in the book. Again, if you want a copy of the book, you're going to message me the word book so I can get you the link so you can get your copy. For those of you who ordered the signed copy, I will be going to the post office today. I will be. All right. Awesome. Great. Let's make these declarations. I'm going to decree for all of us, and you're going to type in the comments, I agree with that. So here we go. I decree that the Lord is blessing us and keeping us in all our ways. I decree that his face and his favor is shining upon us and giving us peace. I decree that we're healthy and strong in body, mind, and spirit. I decree that we're well balanced in every area of our lives. I decree that we're blessed coming and going. I decree that our storehouse, our savings, our checking, our investment accounts are blessed with abundance and overflow. I decree that we're blessed with clear direction and a disciplined life. I decree that the rain of abundance, favor, and goodness is falling on us. I decree that we're blessed with success, with prosperity and provision. I decree that we walk today in faith and expectancy with results. I decree that we're empowered to prosper in our walk with the Lord. I decree that God's grace has given us speed and acceleration in all that we do. I decree things of great value is coming our way today. I decree that the Lord is amplifying our voices and perfecting our gifts. I decree that God is connecting us to great men and giving us strategic kingdom opportunities. I decree that we are victorious in life. And that is how we program a productive and a successful day. So now our mindset and our intentions are set for today, and we understand that anything is possible when you have the right mindset and the will to do what you say you're going to do. Be authentic today. Stop adjusting yourself depending on who is in the room or where you're at or who you're with. Just be yourself. It takes too much work to have multiple personality, and it's exhausting. So be yourself. If they don't like who you are, well, hey, so be it. Okay? All right, so take the day on with faith and expectancy. Expect good things, expect answered prayers, expect promotion and increase. Anything is possible. All right. You're very welcome. You're welcome. Thank you all so much for your time. Again, I'll be on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Find me on my ministry page, World Changers. If you can't find it, send me a message and I'll help you to find it. And the replay for this stream, for those of you who want to watch it again, it will be on my YouTube channel. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for showing up. So my YouTube channel is The Productivity Coach. You can connect with me there for all the replays. Or on Facebook, I'm Anika V. Brown. You can connect with me there to catch the replay. All right, I will put it up there. For those of you who want to work with me, you're going to message me the word mentor. Sent me okay. All right, I'll check it. So you're going to send me a message with the word mentor for those of you who want to work with me, and I'll tell you how you can work with me. All right, have an amazing day. I will see some of you later tonight, and then I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place, for the last word of